Okay. So blessings, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to our Autumn Equinox celebration or Fall Equinox celebration. Mary Nunez and myself appreciate you spending time with us for this wonderful, wonderful time of the year. Marianna Leah today is unable to be here with us as she has been called for a healing mission, but she is sending her blessings to all of us. Now, at this time, as the wheel of the year turns once again, and the days grow shorter and the nights grow longer, Autumn Equinox or Fall Equinox is considered the second harvest holiday. August 1st was Lammas, that was considered the beginning of the harvest season. This is considered by many around the world as a day of thanksgiving, as we give thanks for all of the abundance that we receive and we're about to receive. It is between now and winter solstice, which is December 21st, give or take a day, depending on the year, that I allow the energies of the elements and nature to surround me and guide me. This is when I start to get myself ready for my voyage inside of me to my true self. This is where I begin to discover what I need to work on to be ready by this spring equinox so I can morph into the butterfly. I come out, hopefully, a much better me. Not anybody else, but me. It's inner work. You take this time that it is darker, that it's less light out, and then you go into your soul, to the sections of your soul where it's not so light, it's not so bright. You know, maybe you have guilt to get rid of. Maybe you have forgiveness to give, whatever it is. Or maybe you just have lessons to learn that you have just put aside. You know, I feel that this is a type of self-evaluation that is very necessary, because without the dark, there would never be any light. We cannot appreciate the sunny days if we don't have the dark, rainy days, the dark, stormy days. And the positive energy that surrounds at least me each and every day, and the lessons that teach me along the way, I am extremely grateful and humble for. This is the time where the half of the year between June 21st and December 21st, this is the time where everything is in balance. The dark and the light is in complete balance. Now, it's the same thing in the Southern Hemisphere, except they're celebrating today the spring equinox. So this is the time where we start learning about ourselves. We begin to have a new chapter in our life. We start to reinvent ourselves. You know, and as we go through cycles, through periods of seasons in our lives, and every time they end, we reinvent. This is one of those seasons. And what do we reinvent? We invent a portion of ourselves that has been perhaps dormant for years. A new chapter in our lives to which we fully surrender to the new. Let's face it, whatever a new beginning represents for us, we have the golden opportunity to make it happen. We can breathe in our new beginning, our new season into being. We can make this happen. We breathe what we purely intend to happen into life. We are the co-creators, the co-producers of our story. And fall is the most perfect way to begin that reinvention. Mostly it is in the here and now that we have a chance and are called to action, to be able to take our lives and reemerge ourselves whole. We get the opportunity of becoming complete. Now remember that reemergence always calls for reinvention, and reinvention always gives way to the most perfect, higher version of yourself that you can be. On this day, the full equinox marks the official time where summer ends and fall begins. This day is also known as Mabon or Mabon, depending on how you pronounce it. And it is when we celebrate all the harvests that we have finally been able to obtain from our hard labor of all the summer planting, taking care of plants, taking care of the soil, all that time. We are very lucky at this moment because we could just go to the store and purchase. But in the very beginning, for a long, long time, we were our own provider. We would have our farms, the families. Normally, there was somebody in the family who had a farm. And one maybe did the vegetables, the other family members did the livestock, and everybody did something. And the whole, as a family, would provide for each other. And a lot of the times, this is the day that it would be celebrated as if it was Thanksgiving, because it was the latest celebration before we had to go hide inside our houses because of the bad weather, the cold. It isn't like now where you could just get into a nice warm car. In those days, you basically collected all of your fruits and vegetables and your meats to last you through the whole fall season and winter season. And, you collected all the food, the water, everything you could, and you stored it. And it's the same thing. If you see the animals, they collect their food. They find warm places to hide. They start turning in also. This is a lot of the times where the bunnies, they mate, they hide under, they make a nest, and in the springtime, you have a lot of little bunnies because this is how it is. Nature is our telltale. If we follow the seasonal cycle of the year, we are in harmony and in balance with ourselves, with nature, with the world. We really now don't celebrate these great occasions, these great days, these very powerful, energetic days. And this is why we have decided to start bringing them out into the open, back out into the world, so people could understand, okay, you don't feel so good, somewhere in a couple of weeks. Well, maybe it's because you didn't balance yourself. You didn't get your energies ready. You didn't store them for the darker days. We have SAD. A lot of people have SAD. Mm-hmm. Why? Because they really don't learn how to store some of that energy. They don't practice self-care, and they don't realize that when it's summertime, that's the day you get the nourishment from the sun, which a lot of ancient traditions called it Father God, the sun. They called it source because it was the source of energy. Doesn't mean that that was the only God. It just meant that that was the one that they acknowledged that brought us warmth, that brought us light, that brought crops, that brought life in general. The plants grow with the sun. The animals get bigger with the sun. We get nourishment from the sun. The ground, everything. So now in the shorter days, we start to morph. We start to do our work, our groundwork. This is why you see a lot of people now decorating, redecorating. They change. In the older, especially the older generations, every single season they had different curtains, they had different bedspreads, they took everything out, they had it season by season because they understood the cycle. They understood deep in what it meant. Now, in Europe, Euro-American, or in Bengali, okay, they celebrate the goddesses. Today, they do Etari Penu. They celebrate her. They also celebrate in Mandan, the old woman who never dies. I like that one. I really like that one because although we are old or we are older, and even if we die, we never really die. The physical body dies, but our soul, our essence. Correct, Mary?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
You got it.
There you go. In Taino, they celebrate the Black Being Mother. In Greek, they celebrate the meter.
The meter.
Every single place has a celebration. You know, Hades was kidnapped. Hades' daughter was kidnapped. And she was allowed to visit her mother and visit Earth only half of the year. And this is the time when she returned to the underworld. She got her nourishment. She got her love from her mother, the unconditional ability, the time to really spend with her. And then she had to go back to the underworld. But that love and that energy and that nourishment she received from her mother is what kept her going through the dark times. Mm-hmm. And this is the same thing that humans basically need to remember. Let's nourish ourselves. Now this is the time to nourish our inner self. During the summer, spring and summer, we nourish the body. We nourish the mind. Now we go inside. This is the time to read those books that inspire you, to join in classes, to join in events, to join things that inspire you and give you spiritual uplift, spiritual food. You know, whether it's at church or it's at a center or whether it's a bunch of women just getting together and speaking amongst each other, because we also learn from each other. And not just women, men in general too. They need to also have their bonding moment and have a chance to reconnect with the true essence that they are.
Yes.
Now, in Japan, they celebrate both equinoxes, and they take the time to visit the graves of their loved ones, the ones that are gone from this earth. And it's traditional to spend some time with family and other relatives. So what they do is everybody goes to one house. Everybody brings something, so not one person cooks everything. That's the tradition. Everybody brings something. Then they all go visit the family plots. They clean it, they get it ready, and then they let them know that they understand that they're not here, that this is just the body that is decaying, but the real essence of the dead, the loved ones, are moved on to someplace else, and they honor that trip. In Rosh Hashanah, this is a Jewish New Year holiday. This is around the same time. And after fasting from Yom Kippur and reflecting on last year's mistakes, in Rosh Hashanah is a celebratory time to welcome in the new year. And what do? They eat apples and honey. Are some of the traditional foods. Why? Because apple and honey was the thing that was the most of. This is the time. This is the time you collect the honey. You harvest most of the honey, and this is the time where apples are in abundance. But it's beautiful to see how we are all connected, no matter what our background is, what our religious preferences or our belief system is, no matter where we come from, no matter where we go, we are all connected. And we all have the same beliefs, but we call it maybe something different. We may, somebody may just say, okay, this is fall equinox. Or somebody may call it Mebon. Or somebody may call it something else. It's still the gathering together, sharing our energies, and learning how to go inside to determine what we need to really work on, to really get to a place where we start working and becoming a better version. So when we come out of this darkness, we are bright as a butterfly. And we could fly, and everybody can see, but mostly you could see how good of a version you have become. So I hope that's a little bit of history and explanation for everyone, so everyone can see that, we celebrate things, and sometimes we don't even realize what we celebrate. And this is why we like to bring a little explanation, because then it goes deep in you and you understand that you're not the only one celebrating fall equinox this way. You understand the traditions of your family and why it was celebrated that way. We all have the same traditions. We all celebrate the same things. Mother's Day in US is different than in other countries. It's a different date, but you still celebrate Mother's Day. Father's Day is a different date, depending on where you are in the world, but you still celebrate Father's Day. Yeah. Thanksgiving here is celebrated in Canada basically around the same time, but it's not the same day.
Not the same day, yeah.
No, so and to me, Thanksgiving is not about the atrocities that happened back then. It is just the day that they picked so we could be grateful for what we have. I don't care if I celebrate Thanksgiving today. And when my kids were growing up, we actually hardly ever celebrated it on Thanksgiving Day. Usually ended up being on the weekend. So it really, everybody gets all tongue-tied on the dates and the names of things, but it is all to make ourselves and our soul rise up so we can then learn what we came here for and do what we came here for. No matter what time of the year it is, no matter when it is. It's like Mary and I were talking the other day. We were speaking, and we love to talk. That's our favorite thing to do. Anyway, so we were speaking about, oh, we got to do this, we got to do that, and the procession of the things we had to do was perfect for now because it's just one point after another. Oh, we got to do this, and then out of that came this, and out of that came that, and before we knew it, we had a plan, and that plan included perfect steps to get to where we needed to get to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's evaluation of who you are and who you want to be and how you get there. So we took it backwards. We took it from the where we wanted to be, and we went backwards. Oh, this is where the first step we got to take to get there. So I turn over the floor to you, Maria.
Well, that was beautiful. That was lovely. That was insightful. That was very well thought. I love that. And I'm sure everybody here is encouraged to, go into the internet and find out more about these wonderful times that we're actually moving into. And, this lends a lot of opportunities to sit back and provide yourself time for more meditations, for more self-care. This is the perfect time where, the sun comes down a little earlier, which gives you you got to see it differently in a different point of view. Isn't that you're rushing and you're rushing and you're rushing? No, this gives you a little extra time at night, which is when our cells actually heal themselves, because we do that when we sleep. Our body actually begins the healing process. Our cells go into a healing process that when you wake up, that's why you wake up a little more vibrant, a little more happy. You're ready for the morning, depending on, your mood as well, or what's going on with your life, but your body is ready to go. But, I would love for you guys, would you like a short meditation? Because I want to bring you guys to that place that happened without a lot of you knowing that it happened, where this usually happens in the spring, where we are spiritually given these beautiful seeds, and they've been growing all this time. And here we go in a very symbolic time where these seeds are ready to get harvested. And it has nothing to do with the food that we eat in our physical. It has to do with our mental, our emotional, our ethereal bodies. It is a harvest of love, a harvest of enlightenment, a harvest of getting yourself ready to understand that this is your time. These seeds you've been watering and working through. You have actually, even without you knowing, these seeds have been growing inside of you, inside your heart chakra. And that heart chakra has actually extended these beautiful seeds throughout your entire chakra system, your meridians, everything. But then it actually has grown as well in your ethereal body. And since they're both symbiotic and they both live together, they both work together, it's only proper for you guys to acknowledge that now you are going to harvest what you have grown from these seeds, because now we prepare to get new seeds back again just before spring, so that we have all summer to grow them again. And these these seeds are all filled with love and compassion and self-healing, but mostly some of the most important things is these are seeds called, one of them is called available, and the other one is called allow. And when we become available and we allow to receive and to be our best selves, we're then able to grow these seeds so that when we have changed into or gone into Mabon, we're able to, with our eyes closed, we can work in the darkness. We can work through the light. We can work anywhere. We can work with Mother Gaia without even having to lift a finger because we did the work. So if you would indulge me, if it won't take too long, I would love for you guys to meditate with me just a little bit so that you can feel these seeds, you can harvest all the beauty that it brings you, and we can let go of some seeds that we don't need to keep because those are weeds that get in the way. You guys are ready? Beautiful. So let's go ahead, and you can do this open eye or you can do it with your eyes closed. We're going to take a deep breath in to a count of 4. And then we're going to hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let it go with through our mouth at a count of 4. We're going to continue doing that. And every time we breathe out, we're going to get more and more relaxed. Keep breathing. Keep relaxing. We're going to start waking up these beautiful seeds that have sprung and has given us the harvest. And we're harvesting love. We're harvesting care. We're harvesting compassion. We're harvesting infinite amounts of opportunities. And as we see these right in front of us, they all have different colors and flowers, but they're growing from within. Yes, we see some of the weeds, and every garden has a weed, but we can actually pick that weed out of this garden and move it elsewhere where Mother Gaia is able to pick and transmute. And what we're left is with a beautiful bouquet of delicious love and abundance and compassion and happiness and joy and grace. These are all the things that we're going to actually pick up and put in our basket. And as we put it in our basket, we're able to take our basket and put it on our laps. And I want you to watch and look at all the harvest you've picked. And as you pick them and you put your hands over them, they begin to go into your body. All the essence. You feel more love. You have more space, more capacities. And those weeds that have been growing there, you're just moving them out, giving them off to Mother Gaia. Gaia has beautiful purpose for them. They can be compost. They could be a bed for animals. There's always something that Mother Gaia is able to do. Pachamama is very resourceful, and she always finds good use of everything. She is our greatest example of renewable energy, isn't she? So as you're moving those weeds out of the way, you're actually making more space in your garden. And you can find new opportunities. You find more joy. And you find this one beautiful plant, and you don't know what that plant is, yet you pick it. And when you pick it, it hides inside your hand. And as you open your hand, it turns into a crystal. Now, how could a plant turn into a crystal? Well, that's a beautiful spirit. That spirit is part of the plant people, the plant nation. And now it's coming to you with a message as a crystal. That's your crystal. Make it whatever crystal you want. That is yours. And as you close your hand and you cradle that crystal with your hand, that crystal tells you what you need to know. It tells you you're okay. You've done a great job. You weathered summer, you've weathered spring, you weathered the rain, you weathered the heat. You did a great job. And as you feel that, you start realizing that you did, and that you are very capable of what is to come next. Yes, you will be working a little more darkness than normal, but you will be working in a complete cycle. Mother Gaia or Mother Pachamama, she comes to you and she gives you a nudge. That nudge signifies that she's with you through darkness, through light, through rain, through hail, through snow. She's there. And no matter what it is that you are harvesting today, you know that you can remove anything that does not help you now and discard it and let her take care of it. And she tells you to get what you have harvested and fill your hearts, fill all your chakras with all those beautiful and enlightening qualities. These are yours. You produced them. You grew them. You loved them. You watered them. And you made sure that they grew because they are part of you. Your work is done. The cycle is complete. Today, the season of balance, acceptance, stillness, and release begins. Celebrate with the fruit of your labor, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or ethereal. This is the summer's end, but a beginning of a new era, the era of you, the era where you have everything you need to work in darkness. Because in darkness is where you gather your strength, where you rest, and where you heal. This is where you release and you bring in what it is that you need. Rejoice, you have done the work. Now you rest. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Allow the elements to push through like a mighty wind. Release all the weeds that you've been holding, making space for you to do the work necessary. Take another breath in, breathe out, and slowly come back into your place where we began. And I'll count from 5 to 1, and you will be completely refreshed. You will feel that you have made space. You'll be able to breathe a little better. 5, 4, 3, wiggle your toes, wiggle your butt on your seats. Find yourself and center yourself to here. 2, 1, and welcome back. Thank you.
I loved it.
Wiggle your butt.
But I wiggled my butt.
And it was funny because I caught myself wiggling my own butt. I'm going, doing
That was great.
good.
That was definitely our type of ending.
Love it, love it, love it.
Oh,
Okay, so hopefully everybody's feeling a little bit of a refreshment inside. A little more air can flow into your lungs, and you know it'll work a little more during the rest of the evening.
now we're going to just send out blessings to everyone.
Mhm.
We're going to send that energy that was created today, that was united and unified and multiplied by all of us being here together,
Mhm.
and send it out to everyone. Everyone, whenever you see this, whether it's today or 10 years down the road, be open for that energy
Mhm.
and let that energy flow through your body so you can really see the true nature of what you are and what you can be. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording so we could open the floor, because, all right, hold on.